Hi, folks, and welcome to video 2 or PowerPoint 2, which is now going to. I know we've talked a wee bit about nutrition. On the first PowerPoint, I'd like to now go over the fundamentals of training and what it takes to actually design a good training plan that's personalised towards you and it's going to get you results, get you stronger, and have you building muscle. So, I think for any training plan whatsoever or any training regime, there's always two pillars. Two pillars you've got to work to. One's safety, and the other's enjoyment. Now, through these pillars, see them like a ladder. So the bottom of the ladder, the most important thing, I think, is sustainability. But it's all got to refer back to safety and enjoyment. You don't get enjoyment without, you don't get sustainability without the enjoyment from training. So there's got to have a sense of that in it. There's got to be things in it you enjoy for you to adhere to the plan and sustain to it. If you don't sustain to it, then there's no point in doing the program whatsoever because you're not going to get results from it because you're not doing it over a prolonged period of time. What gets you results is the sustainability and the consistency with training. So, yes, you're better safe than sorry when it comes to training, when it comes to training programs. So, by that I mean you've got to watch the exercise you're doing. You've got to watch the load you're putting on exercises. You've got to be very careful and cautious that the exercise is safe. You've got to make sure you get spotters. You've got to basically do a risk assessment of what you're doing before you go and train. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing something wrong and you pick up an injury, it's the worst thing that can happen when you're in a good swing of training or if you've got momentum flowing. And simply because you're gaining muscle, you're gaining strength, boom, injury, and it puts you out for however long it puts you out for 3, 4 months, whatever it may be. But it's not even just your training you've got to think about, it's your day to day life and it's your livelihood and it's your work and top of things as well. So, yes, absolutely, good form is absolutely what we've got to be looking for. We've got to make sure we're getting the right feel for exercises when we're doing them. And what I mean by that is, I've probably talked to you about this before now, every single exercise, there is a stretch and a squeeze of the muscle you're working. So you've got to know what muscle you're working on beforehand before you go and perform the exercise, or else how do you know how it's meant to feel? So you've got to use good form when doing this exercise. You've got to feel the stretch of the muscle. You've got to feel the squeeze of the muscle. So a good example of that would maybe be a bench press where you're working your chest muscles. Now with this, you've got the lowering of the exercise, or the lowering of the bar, sorry, which would be the stretch on the chest. Now you can mimic this movement now if you like. Bringing your wrist back, you feel your pecs or your chest muscles stretching. And then what we do on the way up, think of pushing with your chest muscles, don't think of pushing with your arms. Although your arms are doing a bit of the work, they're the secondary muscle group we're using. We're actually meant to be using our chest muscles here to be pushing against the weight or exerting the force against. So you should be squeezing them up the top. You should be focusing on that muscle group. As silly as it sounds, that mind to muscle connection is actually really important when it comes to training, or else it's just passive motion. It's just doing an exercise for the sake of it. It's the difference between doing a bench press and only working your triceps compared to working your chest, your front delts, your triceps and your core all on top of that. So more bang for your buck when you hit that mind to muscle connection with exercises. So, like I said before, you've got to use the appropriately selected weight. Now what I mean by that is the load should probably be, for every set, you should maybe have about 3-4 reps left in the tank at a push. Now, when you're first starting out in a training program, or you're totally new to it, or you're a beginner to the program, I always advise starting very light. Get yourself used to the exercise, get yourself used to the movement, the range of motion. Once you feel comfortable, and confident enough doing this exercise, then it's time to take the weight up again. Now, once we are efficient at doing said exercise, we then start to take weights up. We then start to use progressive overload, which I will come on to talk about later on in the PowerPoint. So yes, weight's got to be properly selected. The load's got to be enough to cause trauma on the muscles. If you're not lifting with heavy enough resistance, then it is more or less just passive motion and you're just doing an exercise for the sake of it. You're maybe burning a few calories, but you're not building any muscle, which is what we're looking at doing. This is the foundation for any sort of training goal. You're always looking to have that progressive resistance. You're looking at improving every week. If you get 4 sets of 10 at 50 kilograms on the bench press and it felt fine, next week you're going 4 sets of 10 at 52 kilograms or 52.5 or 55. Maybe you don't get that 4 sets of 10. You maybe get a set of 10, a set of 8, 7, 6, which is absolutely fine. So it'd be silly to take the weight up again because your body's not used to doing it. Your body can't complete it. So why would you take the weight up again and progress it even more when your body's telling you it can't do it in the first place? So you would keep the weight the same and you'd work till you get the reps. You get the 4 sets of 10 at that weight, and that's your body's way of telling you, right, I'm ready to take the weight up now. Recovery. So listen to your body. Our muscles grow when resting. I think that's a very, very important point because, like I said, the foundation of what we want to do, whether it's weight loss, whether it's bulking up, whether it's even fitness work, whatever it may be, we're always looking to build muscle. It's a foundation for absolutely everything. Now, when do we build muscle? We build muscle in our sleep. We build muscle when we're resting. We don't build it in the gym. We put things in place in the gym. We cause the trauma on the muscles. We tear open the muscles when we're in the gym. Now, supplemented with enough protein, like I talked about in the last PowerPoint, on the nutrition PowerPoint, supplemented with enough protein and the right sort of nutrition, right sort of diet, this is when your muscles are going to grow, and this is when you're in turn going to get stronger when you're recovering. So recovery time is very important, not just in terms of growth, but in terms of injury or injury prevention, I should say. If you're doing massive volumes of pressing, overhead pressing, bench pressing, it's going to be a lot of strain to take on your shoulders. If you're doing that 3, 4, 5 times a week, you can be sure as shit your shoulders are going to have major issues because it's going to create imbalances as well. So you've got to make sure you're recovering as well. But listen to your body. Your body's very clever. You know when you can train and when you can't train. But with that being said, don't use your delayed onset muscle soreness of your chest after you've done some press ups a day before to patch training that day. It doesn't give you a good enough excuse. There's still other muscle groups you can be working on, but recover that specific muscle group. Try and give it between 24 and 48 hours. Warm up, yep. So muscles and joints appropriately for the exercises they will be doing that day. So yes, I tend to do it, and people know that train with me, obviously, do a mobility warm up. Now, through training with me or through doing videos on my PT Hub, either being online clients or one-to-one clients, you know that we work on basically loosening off the joints, which are going to be worked that day. So, for instance, a Superman sometimes that we'll do, which is a bit of shoulder mobility, core stability, glute activation, tend to do them all the time because it covers a lot of muscle. It covers a lot of the joints being used. It covers your core as well, so it gets you fired up properly before an exercise. A warm-up's not a 5-minute run on a treadmill. That elevates the heart rate. It's alright if you're going to then go further and do a 5k or something after that, but that's not warming up our muscles appropriately for the way we're going to work them. So your mobility work and your stretching beforehand is very important. It's like lubricating the joints before you then go and use them, because it does take a lot of time to warm up to an exercise, and you'll find that out if you were to just jump into a gym straight away. Again, I'll use bench press as an example. If you just chuck 20 kilo aside on a bar, take it up to 60 kilo, and you just try and batter out a set of 10 straight away, you'll not have a proper range of motion. It will not feel right. You'll feel a lot of strain in your shoulders straight away. So it's important to warm up appropriately and properly for the exercises you're going to be doing. And with that being said as well, it's important to warm up to the weight that you're going to be lifting. So like I just said there, instead of sticking 20 kilo aside on the bar, start with maybe the bar for a set, then take it up to 10 aside, then 15 aside, then work to your 20 aside. Work up to your working weight without just firing weight on the bar, firing a heavy load on the bar when your muscles aren't warmed up appropriately for it. So, right, okay, so next up in sustainability, we have got efficiency. So, are we working hard enough in the gym? And the reason I actually put that in there is because this is what's going to keep you sustaining and adhering to the workouts. If you're not working hard enough, you're not going to see results, and that's the straight and narrow of it, to be honest. Like I said, every set you should maybe have about 3-4 reps left in the tank. Nothing should feel totally comfortable. from what you're doing. So you need to be using your time efficiently in the gym, not taking massive rest periods, not talking to your partners, your gym partner in between sets and whatnot. Yep, you've got to add in your strengths. Add in your strengths to the training, absolutely. So things that you're good at, focus on getting better at them as well. Definitely focus on your strengths. I know a lot of people say it's good to find a weakness because then you know what to work on, but you tend not to like your weaknesses. Now, that's not me saying don't work on them because they obviously do need to be worked on. Your weaker exercise you don't like doing as much, but don't fill your program full of them. You fill your program full of these types of exercises, then the chances are you're not going to sustain to that workout because it's a program that you absolutely hate, and it's exercises that you're not good at or not good at yet. So you're not really looking at going and improving them. You like going in and lifting. Say you know you're good at the squat. You know you can squat 150 odd kilo, and it feels good when you do that. It feels sore, but it feels good because you know you can do it. You love getting into squat because you love showing off. You love having that weight on the bar. You love firing the plates on and warming yourself up to it. So work to your strengths as well and work on getting them stronger. Enjoyment in the plan is so important. Variety in the plan as well. If you're doing the same thing week in, week out for over a long period of time, it's going to get very, very boring. It's going to be very, very repetitive as well. So you've got to be able to add a bit of variety in your training. Can you change reps, sets? Can you do drop sets? Can you do rest pause sets? Can you take your muscle to failure? Can you change the exercises? Are you going to add in a different aspect to fitness this time round? Whatever you can do to vary that training plan up is, like I say, if you're going to sustain to this, then you need to be able to vary your training plan up and not be doing the same thing all the time, because doing the same thing all the time maybe works for the first couple of weeks, but it becomes very, very repetitive and you will become bored. After that, so we've got a training partner, massive. So not just in terms of safety, but in terms of the point we're on now, sustainability to your training. You've got a training partner. If you're, say he's planned to go at 6 in the morning. Now, it's hard to go to the gym at 6 in the morning if you're going yourself, but if you've got a training partner you know is going to be there at 6 in the morning too, you don't really want to let them down. They've got up out their bed. You need to get up out of your bed. You've got to show them that respect that they're showing you by turning up to the training session, as well as maybe you do a later at night session. It's been a long day at work and you can't be bored going. A training partner's a good accountability partner. So like, no, you said you were going to go tonight. Come on, I'm going. Blah blah blah, and that's what causes you to go. But when you're just training yourself, you're only really letting yourself down, which we seem to be all right with. Which obviously is not all right, but it's better to have an accountability partner there, somebody to fall back on, somebody to give you that wee push or that wee kick up the backside. You're maybe like and say, no, we said we're going to go to the gym, like, let's go to the gym night, and likewise you do the same with them. If you can find a training partner, that is, it's always better to have them there, and just in terms of safety as well for spotting. So the next point I'll go over, or the next sort of barrier. So we've got sustainability at the bottom. Yeah, like I say, I feel like that's the most important point when it comes to a training program and in terms of getting results. Because if it's not sustainable, then you won't get results because you'll only do it for a couple of weeks. You need to be consistent. We're now going to talk about effort because, again, results don't come without you putting in the effort. On the other hand, now I know I spoke about this slightly on the other slide, and we're saying how you should have no more than 3-4 reps in the tank when it comes to training or when it comes to doing sets, and that's absolutely true. I mean, you shouldn't be taking your muscle to absolute failure the first set because you'll not be able to do the same amount of reps for the next set. So you've got to be able to gauge that properly. But with that being said as well, you shouldn't feel as if you've got another 10, 12, 13, 14 reps in the tank after you do a set. You're certainly not working hard enough if that's the case. The load needs to be enough, but the effort needs to be matched with intensity as well. So you need to be doing that in order to cause trauma and to be able to build muscle. Building muscle is not going to come easy. If it was easy, I would be walking about absolutely jacked and ripped to hell. So you've got to make sure that effort's there as well. The exercises shouldn't feel comfortable, so they should feel uncomfortable, especially move on. First couple of reps maybe feel okay, but as you start to move on, your sort of training cycle or your rep ranges, they should be starting to burn out as the set goes on. Complete all sets and reps. Now, I know this seems pretty straightforward, but funnily enough, I mean, this is something I even used to be quite bad for. Going to the gym and it's maybe just an off day. You maybe don't have your training partner in with you as well. It's just been one of the days. You go to the gym and you've really got no notion for it whatsoever. So you're doing 3 sets instead of 4, you're doing 8 reps instead of 15, and you're just really taking the intensity all the way down. What I would actually recommend, if you do have a day like this, and you're looking at a training plan and you're thinking, right, I've really just cannot be arsed with that today. Instead of taking the intensity down the exercise, keep your intensity high, but maybe work on something a bit different that night. Maybe deviate a wee bit for the training plan. You maybe want to go and try something new. You maybe want to fire some boxing gloves on. You maybe want to go and punch the bag and hit that with the same intensity. You maybe want to hit a different muscle group that night. Maybe it was legs and you've just got no notion at all for legs. You're maybe going to go and hit your back instead. I would say do that, vary it up a wee bit and change it so you're still keeping the intensity high instead of dropping the intensity and then falling into bad habits by doing so. Do what you said you would. Yep, absolutely. Pretty straightforward. You said you've got to go to the gym tonight, go to the gym tonight. Don't leave it to tomorrow. You said you're going to do 4 sets. Do 4 sets. It's as simple as that. Follow through with what you said you would do. And that's something I've only really taken on board recently, although it seems pretty straightforward. I used to be really bad for having a sort of mental note of things in my head of what I was going to do for the day, or even in terms of training, and cut that back slightly, but I would be fine with it. But now I sort of give myself that kick up the backside now, and I say, no, what you said you were going to do that, follow through with it, or else you're full of shit. And it's true in a sense. I was full of shit, but I was only bullshitting myself. I was only hindering my own performance. Spotter, yeah, we spoke about that slightly. You need a spotter to keep it safe, basically. And be able to hit that same amount of effort. So again, I'm just using a bench press for example. There's no way you're going to be able to max out a bench press on your own. It's just not safe. Grab a spotter, grab somebody that's in the gym at the time, grab a coach, grab a PT, grab just whoever you can find. Make sure you've got a spotter if you want to hit that sort of exercise with the right amount of effort. But that's very important as well in terms of safety. So next up, progressive overload and prioritisation. So, what do I mean by that? Now, I spoke slightly about progressive overload. Now, progressive overload is making an exercise or a set of exercises or a training program harder over time. Now, how do we make that harder over time? Right, okay, so can we take the volume up? Can we do more reps? Can we do more sets? Can we take the load up? Can we take the weight up? Can we decrease rest times? Can we slow the exercise down? This is all progressive overload because you're progressively making the exercise harder over time. But you'll see I've put in brackets there, use common sense. Now, the reason I've said that is because if something doesn't feel right, if an exercise doesn't feel right, come back to the 4 sets of 10 I was talking about on a bench press, say. If you don't feel like you're doing that right, you're getting a lot of pain maybe in your shoulders, you're not really feeling it in your chest as much, and you're really struggling with the bar. Don't take the weight up. Silly to do so. You maybe got your 4 sets of 10, but they were not pretty reps. Work on getting better at that weight first before you then take the weight up. So like I said, use common sense. If something's not feeling right, don't take the weight up for the sake of taking the weight up. Work on getting better at that weight first before you then go and take the weight up. Yeah, must be used if looking to gain muscle. That's 100% true. If you want to progress and you want to keep building muscle and you want to get stronger and you want to get closer towards your goals, you've got to progressively make it harder every week, and that's through doing any of the variables I just mentioned before, so as you get better over time. So in terms of prioritisation, yeah, stay goal focused. What is your goal? What is it you're looking to do? This is what you've got to structure your training program around. So make sure it is specific to what your goal is. So if you're on a weight loss goal, the activity needs to be high. You need to get yourself moving. If you're on a strength gain goal, you need to keep the reps low. You need to be working on your strength all the time. You need to be working on big compound lifts. You need to be working on deadlifts, squats, bench, big compound lifts that are going to get you stronger over a faster period of time. So stay goal focused, don't deviate from the plan too much. Specificity, that I mentioned beforehand. So I'm now going over the training variables and how we then incorporate them into our said routine or our said training program. So the first one is volume. Volume. Yep. Oh, messing up a bit there. Yeah. So the next one is volume. So what do we do with volume in terms of progressive overload and in terms of getting better? So it ranks highly in growth potential. Yeah, it kind of takes me back to what I was saying there about progressive overload. If you're serious about getting stronger and you're serious about building muscle, the volume needs to be there and it needs to be increased over a period of time. So what is our volume? So our volume is our total work, which is our sets times our reps times our load. So remember what I said about the sets, leaving no more than 3-4 reps in the tank and avoid burnout or total fatigue when it comes to volume, because you'll not grow. If that's the case, you need to be able to make sure you're recovering for the next day, for the next training, the next training workout, so as you can give it your all, so as you can work to your optimal, your most optimal. So in terms of our sets, our reps, and our load, work out what you've done 1 week. This is our progressive overload we're talking about as well. Do the math, times your sets by your reps by your load for an exercise. Work out what the number comes to. You're looking to increase that again the next week if you were able to complete it all right. So does that mean taking the set up? Does that mean taking the reps up? Or does that mean taking the load up? Usually it tends to be the load, to be honest. Feel, especially for beginners, I would say 10 sets per body part per week for minimum volume games. That's what you should be doing minimum. So that's per body part as well. So remember, there will be crossover body parts there as well through compound exercises. So remember, compound exercises are exercises that require more than one muscle group to perform the exercise. 20 sets are optimal. So if you really want to get the most out of training, then be looking for 20 sets per muscle group. But like I say, if you're a beginner, there's no way you need to be doing that much, because your recovery is going to be horrible as a beginner as well. It's going to take a bit of time for your body to adapt to the training. There's literally no need for your sets to be up at 20 per body part. As I say, you could be as low as 10 and still make results, and then as you get into your training a wee bit more, you could then, and your recovery is a wee bit better, you could be looking at taking it up to as high as 20 sets. 20 plus, yeah, you're going to verge burnout, and you're probably doing more harm than good, to be honest. You probably end up injuring yourself. You'll not even be able to complete an exercise to the best of your ability, because your muscles are still recovering from the day before. So, yeah, use common sense with that one as well. I mentioned crossover exercises, so it's your compounds, volume, strength gains. Always look to get stronger. As long as you're getting stronger, you're building muscle. So frequency, right? So frequency, yep. So brings me back to one of our pillars. Is it sustainable? Can you? What is sustainable for you? What fills in? What fits in with your lifestyle? Is it only training twice a week? Is it training 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week? You've got to figure out what works best for you and what fits in with your lifestyle best. So, for instance, if you're very on the go, and you don't have a lot of time, then it's maybe going to be a 2-3 times a week training program. If you've got time on your hands, you can maybe split it up over 5 times a week body part split. Now, remember what we just said about volume. We want to hit everyone. If you're a beginner, 10 to 15, not even as many as 15, maybe 10 to 12 sets per body part per week. And then if you're more advanced and you've been training a while, then you can take that up to as high as 20 sets per body part per week. You will get more volume from training twice per week. So I think that's the most optimal. If you're doing a body part split, say now a body part split's doing a specific muscle group for every day. So, for instance, 5 days a week, say, you get chest, you've got back, you've got shoulders, you've got legs, and you've got an arm day. Now, you're going to burn out very quickly by working on just that specific muscle group every day. It's sort of bodybuilder style training, and whilst it is good and it still works, if that fits in your lifestyle, that's fine. And you like the sort of pump you get from doing that type of workout, I'm not saying anything against it in any sort of way, because it does work and it does build muscle and it does get you stronger. But I think for optimal results, they will get you similar hypertrophy anyway, which is just building muscle. But I think for optimal results, you're maybe looking at hitting everything twice per week in terms of frequency. So if you can maybe think of an upper day, a lower day, maybe a rest in between, upper day, lower day, or whatever way you want to figure it out for yourself, as long as you're hitting every muscle group between that 10 and 20 sets margin, you're absolutely fine. Split it up whatever way you want. You maybe want a push day, pull day, lower body day, whatever way you want to work it for yourself. Like I say, this is up to you. But I do think hitting everything from twice per week works a wee bit better, because you don't hit that total burnout. Think of your last exercise on a chest day. Are you able to hit that with the same intensity you hit with your first set, your first exercise? Absolutely not. But if you're doing it over twice per week, and it's maybe 8 sets, say you're hitting per muscle group, but twice per week, so 16 sets over the course of the week. The chances are, if you're splitting that up over 2, then that's 8 sets per day. You're going to be able to complete them a lot better than compared to doing just 16 sets total in the one day, because you're going to burn out a lot quicker because you're only using that one specific muscle group. So I think that leads for optimal results as well. But like I say, sustainability, it's got to be tailored towards you, and it's got to fit in with your lifestyle. Right, okay, so next up, I'm going to finish just on load and intensity, and how much weight we should actually be lifting. So we're going to go high reps versus low reps. Now, this seems to have been a debate in the past, and what one causes you to get stronger, or what one causes you to build muscle more. And from results shown by a lot of studies, they actually get the same hypertrophy. So they're very similar to each other in terms of gaining muscle. What you need to think when it comes to a training program, or it comes to getting results, you've got to think in volume. Now, what was our total volume again? It's sets times reps times load. But you've got to equal that with effort, or the intensity you're hitting them with. So what I mean by that is the load has got to be enough for you to build muscle. If you're doing 100 bodyweight squats instead of 10 barbell back squats, you're going to get more results from the barbell back squats because they're hit with more intensity. You can do bodyweight squats all day long and not build any muscle. It's not really causing any trauma on the muscles. So although we are saying times the sets by the reps times the load's got to be heavy enough to cause that trauma on the muscles as well. So you've got to hit both of them with the equal amount of effort. Now, if it's strength training you're looking to do, low reps statistically get better results. Makes sense. You're working with heavier loads all the time. You're maybe working to between rep ranges of 1 and 5. You're working to high intensity, massive loads all the time. So that is obviously in turn going to get you stronger. Whereas your higher reps are going to work more so on your endurance work, working for that 12 plus rep range. But that being said, they both will build muscle in the same way. One will get you stronger and one will build up your endurance just a slight bit more. What else was I going to say on that topic there? Yep, that was it, sorry. So, with your strength training, or with your heavy load training, the only thing you've got to watch when the load is as heavy is your central nervous system, is your joints. If you're doing squats, bench, deadlift, you're doing them 5 times a week, you're hitting them with a lot of intensity, a lot of weight. You've got to know when to taper back slightly, maybe add in a deload week, remember, Our muscles grow when they're recovering, not when you're training. So it's important you take that appropriate rest when your body needs it. If you're maybe working up to a 1 rep max squat, and you've done it over the past 6 weeks, but you've been doing 1 rep max squatting every week, working up to that over the 6 week period, you've not really done your job, because you're always working to that high intensity. You've never give your body that time to recover. So by the time you get to the 6 week period, it's not actually as strong as you are. You need to add in a deload week, taper weights back a bit slightly, do something a wee bit easier on your body. And these get added in every so often. Listen to your body. Whenever your body needs it, when you feel tired, you feel lethargic, add a deload in weekend. Take a wee bit of rest. It's as good for you mentally as it is physically as well. You come back next week, you're getting optimal results because your body's recovered and it's got the rest it needed to, as well as your joints. So, practical rep range for hypertrophy or for building muscle, I'd say between 6 and 15. I would say that's a good sort of rep range. Beginners, I tend to get doing maybe between 6 and 8 reps for 75% of their program anyway. And that's just simply because if they're new to a program, they're new to doing exercises, there's no point in you try to do lots of reps in an exercise when you've never done the exercise before, because again, you're just putting yourself at high risk of injury. So obviously we don't want that. Work to lower reps, work to getting the exercise right first. Then you can maybe start to work on your volume a wee bit by taking your rep ranges up. And then for a quarter of your program, you're maybe looking at doing below 6 and above 15, just to change your training up a bit. It's just, again, to keep your body guessing. I mean, they're all going to get you building muscle anyway. It's important to work with heavy loads, it's important to work with lighter loads, work on different aspects of training. It's important getting stronger, it's important building endurance. They both in turn are going to build muscle anyway, and both in turn are going to get as results. Yeah, so above 15. You get fatigue, you get burnout, and you get recovery that you've got to think about. You're doing more reps, you're going to fatigue a lot quicker. Doing a program like that, you're going to burn out and it's going to be a bit longer to recover. You're going to feel more muscle soreness the next day. Lower spectrum, I talked about before. So this is one that leaves you higher injury risk because you are working with heavy loads all the time, or a lot of the time, and your volume accumulation, you've got to think about as well, is actually quite harder to get when you hit the lower spectrum. So what I mean by that is, again, think sets, reps, weight when it comes to volume. This is where it all comes back to in terms of progressive overload and getting results. So, for instance, your lower end of the spectrum, you would need to do 10 sets of 3 reps at 100 kg to shift 30,000 kilograms. Or 4 sets of 25 reps at 30 kg to get the same return. Now, what one's going to take you longer? It's going to be the one you're doing 10 sets for, isn't it? Taking rest periods in between setting up the bar. That's going to take you a lot longer. So is that optimal for you? Is it useful for you? This is where your higher rep stuff maybe comes a wee bit better into the equation, because it fits in better with your lifestyle, fits in better with your workout. It's not taking up as much time, and you've still lifted the same amount of weight over that, but it's just in a shorter period of time. Whereas your 10 sets of 3, 10 sets, that's probably going to take you half an hour, say, minimum, as well, including your rest periods. God, a good, at least a third of your workout's gone by that point. Whereas 4 sets of 25, that's, God, you could have that done in 10, 15 minutes tops. You've still got other things to work on during your program. So it's better in that sense. It saves you a bit of time. It's maybe a bit more optimal for you. But with that being said, both ends of the spectrum are important to be adding into a training program, and you shouldn't deviate too much from one. You should always be looking at improving other aspects of your fitness and your strength gain. So you should be working on that lower spectrum to build up your strength. You should be working on that higher spectrum to build up your endurance, but you want to be working within that practical rep range as well for the most optimal results and what fits in best with your lifestyle. But that's more or less everything I wanted to sort of go over there in terms of the fundamentals anyway. I'll be doing more of these PowerPoints and more of these videos. Again, just going into a wee bit more detail about training, maybe specific areas of nutrition as well. But these are the fundamentals. This is the starting points, and this is the things I need to use to take on board in terms of moving forward with your training. But I hope you enjoyed this, folks. If you do have any questions or anything further you would like to ask me, then please just let me know. I'm on a phone call, a text, or an email away.